As an investor, you're also a business owner. And just like you would any business that you're going to be in, it will always profit you to constantly be thinking about ways that you can either start, grow, or scale your business for the year. With 2023 right upon us, you are either going to have the decision to make of whether you're going to start planning or you're going to start implementing. The truth is, you have to start planning before you start implementing so that you can actually have a clearly set goal for where you're going to based on what it is that you want to achieve. And for you to get started quicker and scale much quicker and possibly even make so much more returns, here are 10 tips that you can use to do that successfully. Number one, always start with the plan. So you're going to start off with making a plan. Map out where it is that you want to go to with your real estate investment, i.e. you're mapping out your goals, you're identifying what it is that your goals are, and you are then going to match your goals with a strategy. Having a clear-cut strategy would help you to be able to very quickly achieve success whilst also hitting your goals for the year or even for the next decade, as the case may be. Point number two is going to be you have to define your budget. Now, after you've decided how it is that you want to be able to match your strategy with what it is that you want to be able to achieve as a goal, you're gonna then have to define what your budget is, how much money it is that you have, how much money it is that you have to be able to make, how much money is it that you're going to have to look for through any of the creative ways it is that you're going to be able to raise financing. Either you're going to call friends, or you're going to partner with friends, or you're going to take a loan or a mortgage to be able to achieve these goals. That is going to be the next thing that you would have to do to be able to start and scale your real estate business very quickly in 2023. Speed is going to be one of the things that should play to your advantage. So having these things locked in and sorted out would help you to achieve that. Point number three is that you are going to have to set realistic goals for your investment. Now remember, I've talked about your own personal goals and being able to match them to the strategy that you pick in point number one. Point number three is you setting the goals for your investment. How fast do you want to be able to achieve these things? How fast are you going to try to push this investment to actually start to work? How fast is it that you're going to be able to define what it is that these investments are going to do for you? And how simply are you also going to be able to say these things are working in terms of how you measure them out? These are things that you're going to have to set out right from the beginning, because when you know that, you know what you're looking for, you understand what it is that your total goal pipeline is going to have to do and have to be able to deliver for you. Point number four, you are going to have to learn real estate investing. I know you've probably heard me say this a lot of the time, but it is the truth, because if you don't understand real estate investing, you're not going to understand what it is that you have to do. You're not going to understand the terminologies that are being spoken about or that are being used in conversations or come up when you're trying to negotiate or you're even just evaluating or reviewing an offer. If you don't understand the language, you don't understand the terms, you don't understand what it is that certain statements actually mean, then you will get confused. And when you get confused, you will be making a lot of assumptions. Assumptions are going to be one of the easiest ways to get you either derailed or to make you fail. And that is not something that you want, because what you're doing is you're planning so that you can succeed. So make a plan to learn real estate, find people or where it is that you can grab resources through which you can learn real estate and make that an advantage for you. You know what they say, knowledge is power, but knowledge implemented is actually what is power. So gain the knowledge and start to put it to use for yourself. So point number five is a personal favorite because it requires you to do some homework. and that is you going all out to research your local community or the local community that you're going to be invested in. Because the more you know about the area, the more it is that you know about the people, the more it is that you know about the trends or the happenings or what's going on, the easier it is going to be for you to be able to plug in your real estate investment choices into those areas. I mean, because we all know that location is one of the biggest factors for how real estate works, you are going to have to know the area and the people and where it is the people are going so that you also can know what investments it is that you are going to be looking out for. So I always tell people, I say real estate investing works based on the people. What is it that the people are looking for? What is it that the people need? Where is it that the people are going to? Because when you go there before them, you know what it is that they're going to come and look for. You can very easier invest in those things so that when they do get there, you are going to be the choice that they have to make do with, or even just patronize because you already have it. You're telling them that this is what it is that's available, this is what they want, and all of that is going to tie in with them so you get to win and your money has worked. So, are we making sense or are we making sense? Tell me in the comments. Now, point number 6 is a personal favorite. Why? Because it makes your researching easier. Remember, research is point number 5. So when you're researching, it's easier because this is actually one of the ways that you research also, and that is talking to people, talking to like-minded people, talking to other investors, talking to people who are also considering either going into the market or they are in the market and they've just started. Or you can even just talk to people who are not yet in the market, in that particular market, to be able to understand what is it that they have done, what is it that they have used, what strategies, what tips, what information worked for them that you can leverage and borrow. Remember, the idea is not necessarily to come and reinvent the wheel, but to take the wheel, place it in another place, optimize it, make it work better, make it suit, adapt it to that local area. And that is how you're going to be able to win, because it is going to be tried and tested. People with real estate look for literally the same thing: housing, a roof over their heads, space that they can work in. So when people are going to come and say, oh, this is what I got in this area, they're going to want to subconsciously benchmark it. And you want to be able to be above all of that. So above the choices that they're going to be trying to make, you want to be already in that game. You want to be in that line. You want to be in what it is that they need, because you are not necessarily looking to just go and acquire real estate. You are looking to win. You are looking to make money. And the way you make money is by making sure that people are going to be able to pay you. So they will either pay you because you're the one that's available, or they'll pay you because you're the one that is giving them what they need. And that's how you win. So now to point number 7. You are going to have to look out for legislation. What is it that legislation says? What is it that and now legislation could also include policies, could include market trends, could include just everything that's going on in society. But if you can understand what legislation allows you to do, remember, it also ties back to you understanding the lingua, understanding the market, understanding real estate investing as a whole. If you can understand what all of these things allow you to do, what they are requiring you to do, then you're going to also be able to work your own investment choices in or around all of these things. For example, if there's going to be a new tax policy that says that you cannot operate a certain type of property in this area without paying a certain levy or a certain tax or something, the earlier that you know about that, the better for you, because you can factor in those conditions into your choices instead of them becoming things that just come and hit you when you're already in the game, and then you're saying, oh, I did not calculate for that, and then it becomes a shortfall, or it causes you a shortfall in your implementation plans. So the earlier it is that you're able to understand how legislation impacts on your real estate business, the easier that it is that you're going to be able to keep moving forward. If you can anticipate what the requirements are going to be of you. You will probably have thought about them from the beginning, and you would be able to prevent them from making a negative impact on your way forward. Another factor that can impact negatively on your investment and its viability in terms of the output would be the operational management. So, if you're going to go into real estate investing, then you need to be able to understand what it entails to manage that thing. Even if you don't know it so in depth, at least you have an idea. For example, if you're going to go into the market and you want to buy land, you would be needing to know that the cost of the land is not the only cost. So as in the actual cost, when they say the price of the land is say 5 million, for example, you would know that if your budget were 5 million, then you can't buy that land. You can't complete that transaction because the cost of that property is going to be the cost of the land plus X. X being the other fees that come on. And this is one thing that you all think, you all come up saying, and you feel like we are layering on all of these costs just to make it more expensive. No, that's not the case. The truth of the matter is the fact that all of those costs help to make your acquisition complete. So it's just like you saying you buy a car and you buy a car and you want to start driving the car and you don't do registration. How are you going to do that without being accosted by the Lord? Like you go on the road and somebody says, "Where are your papers?" You have no papers. It's going to be the same thing. So always ensure that you understand everything that it will require of you to be able to manage and sustain that real estate investment that you have made. And that was an example for land. If you're going into property and you want to be able to rent it out, you have to be able to understand what taxes would apply to you because you will pay tax. And you have to also understand what are the recurrent management factors that you're going to have to put into place. Are you going to have to consider the fact that you have to always leave out money for the building to be repainted? Is the paint color one that will resist the weather? How often do you have to paint? How often do you have to fix the plumbing? What kind of equipment or hard electrical items is it that you're installing in the property? And here I'm talking about people who are probably going into the short-lived business. You have to think about that. How often do you have to service? Because putting all of those things in one time and then thinking that all the money that you're going to make is going to just be your profit is not actually true. So you need to understand the operational dynamics for managing and sustaining that property so that as you plan, you can plan for an extensive period of time, which you will have the right and be able to use those things optimally for your investment growth. The Yorubas have a saying that literally translates into it's not one way into the market. So if you're also going to be planning for your real estate investment, you also have to consider that you can be flexible on your methods or your ways that you're going to implement to be able to achieve your desired end result, to be able to just get to the end goal. The end goal is what you should focus on. Focus on what it is that is going to help you get to the end. So think about multiple things that you can do in the same way that they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. But if you have your eggs in multiple baskets, at least if one doesn't work or one has challenges, then you will know that at least you still have something that is working in your favor. Because anything can happen. A lot of times there are a lot of unforeseen things that we probably don't even look at, that we don't even realize are going to happen or going to come into play that you would have to think about. So that is going to be my tip number 9. And tip number 10 is track everything. If you cannot measure how much it is that you're making in real estate, there's no assurance that you're actually making money. And this applies to any business, anything that it is that you want to be able to do. Whether you want to try and lose weight, you have to at least weigh in from time to time to know whether you're on track or something is not working or you have to tweak it or something. So think about what it is that you want to do. Think about how much it is that you want to make and I tell people, keep an Excel sheet. Very simple way of doing it. Keep an Excel sheet that would tell when it was that you bought into an investment, how much it is that the investment is supposed to be making, how much it is that you're spending to get into or to keep the investment, how much it is that the investment is paying out to you. And those are just a simple way that you will be able to say, this is how you are tracking your investments. Because if you can wake up any given day of the week or month and say, this is where I am at, you will easier be able to think or have ideas come to mind that say this is something that you have to consider tweaking, changing, or throwing out in totality. Remember, every plan would have things that work, things that need to change, things that need to be adapted, and you have to be able to be on top of all of those ideas. I have used these tips to grow my own business personally in 2021. I have also seen how they've worked for some of my clients. So I'm sharing them with you this time to say these are things that you want to be able to look into because our market is consistently changing. These are things that are generally going to work because if you know what it is that you're doing, you will know where it is that you're going to. So if this video has been of value to you, drop a comment down below and let me know how it has helped you, which of the tips it is that you're going to try, which one it is that you're not going to try. And if you want me to be able to help you map out a strategy or work through developing a strategy and holding your hand, holding you accountable to being able to do it, I'm going to leave a link in the caption where you can schedule a consultation call and we can generally help to work through all of these things. I will personally be on the call with you. I would help you work it out, define what the strategy is in line with your goals, and we can take it from there. But if you just don't want to have to do most of this work and you say, Lerato, I do not want to have to do as much of this work, but I want to gain the benefits, then you may want to consider joining the co-investing community. Last year we started out and we started co-investing in an apartment, which right now is making money, already earning money for some of our co-investors. For 2023, I've done all of these things to help to put together the plan that is going to be working for us in the co-investment community for 2023. So if you want to join in, enjoy the benefits, have me work for you, then you will find a link also in the caption that would help you to get started there. So next time with another video where we will be talking about more of the topics that are hot and how it is that you can make money and create wealth through real estate investing. I'll see you next time.